Hello, my beautiful creatures. Welcome to Mars Retrograde. It's a big one because it is a long one. Mars entered Aries back on June 24th, so Mars is going to be in Aries for a much longer time than it normally would be. It doesn't He retrogrades for about 58 to 81 days, and he doesn't go station direct until November 13th. So we have quite some time to spend with this Mars retrograde. And I just have noticed already, like, some funny things that have come about with this Mars retrograde. I've been hitting my head a lot, which is just hilarious. A hilarious, really mundane way that like Aries energy is coming through. I've definitely been more accident prone, so I will say Mars retrograding in Aries can add this accident prone energy. So if you're somebody who's clumsy like myself, just be wary. Just say slow down. This is definitely a time to slow it down and take things in stride and try to not react to things like very quickly and emotionally. Because we're going to be really impulsive in this time. So it's really a moment to sit with those impulses and look really deeply at them and understand them from a more honest, stable position. Mars in Aries could also just kind of, Mars retrograding in Aries, might also cause some hesitation in choices. It could go the other way, where you're not feeling really impulsive, you're feeling really like afraid to start things or afraid to make a choice. And that hesitation is there because it's your gut telling you to not act impulsively. It's your gut telling you to take a moment to really sit with whatever choices you have at hand and really follow your intuition now. And really lean on spirit and trust that your guides will show you the right answer. You'll know. You'll feel it. So this Mars retrograde will ask us to be resting more than usual. It is possible to overdo it during this Mars retrograde. So, because the energy is kind of intense and fiery and Martian, there could be a want to like get really physical or play physical sports or get into fights or arguments, that kind of thing. We have to be really careful with that because we can definitely overdo it now. We also have, just kind of adding to the whole thing, Mars retrograde will be squaring Saturn in Capricorn. Just kind of, I'm sorry, my nose gets so itchy when I do readings sometimes, so please just ignore that nose itching. I really feel like it's like a hilarious just joke on me from spirit. So the Mars squaring Saturn, I've been talking about it a lot in almost all of my videos. It really just adds this, like, rigidity to the whole thing. It adds even more restriction that there already is. So that can definitely be a little bit challenging. We could definitely see, so we do have Jupiter, some good news throughout this transit is on September 13th, we will see Jupiter moving direct in Capricorn, which can be really great because that means some momentum forward in our careers and in our Capricorn field. So definitely take a look at where Capricorn is in your chart and, what house it's in, and that'll kind of be the area that we're seeing a little bit more advancement in. So pretty cool. I think that energy is going to be really nice, all things considered. Mars retrograde will be trining the South Node in Sagittarius. So something I've been seeing come up a lot is this energy of really healing past life karma. With it trining the South Node in Sagittarius, the South Node is what carries our past life energy. So it feels like, collectively, we will be going through a lot of karmic healing, which can look not so pleasant in the grand scheme of things. Because it's Mars and Sagittarius. It's just fire. And it's a game of intellect with Sagittarius. And I could definitely see us healing some war, conflict, bloodshed energy, right? Because that's Mars. Mars rules war, it rules bloodshed, it rules that edgy conflict side. It rules harm, physical injuries, that kind of thing. It definitely rules your identity and your ego because he is number one, right? Aries is number one in the zodiac. So that is our identity. So I really feel like we, as a collective, are going through a whole identity shift. And we are seeing that in America pretty heavily. And I do think that we will be healing a lot of this past energy connected to past lives, that there was a lot of conflict and a lot of war and a lot of bloodshed and edge. So as much of a struggle I think the rest of 2020 will be, I do think that we're going to come out of this much stronger, much more aligned with ourselves, and much more healed, and have healed a lot of our past life issues. So I am really excited for all of that. I did want to mention I will be utilizing hematite in quartz throughout the Mars retrograde. I love this stone. I think that this stone is really fiery, but really grounding. And when it's in quartz, it's just a little bit more amplified. So the hematite in quartz is fantastic. This is a really big palm stone that I got from Bill at Crystals to Go. So I know he's got big palm stones like this. I don't know if he still has the hematite in quartz palm stones, but any stone that is red, so like red jasper, I would maybe stay away from ruby and garnet right now, just because ruby and garnet can have potential energies of like amplifying aggression and amplifying that Mars, those negative Mars tendencies. So be a little careful with some ruby. But otherwise, red, and I always am a sucker for smoky quartz or black tourmaline. They're great all the time. So if you feel yourself getting a little bit like over-energized or overstimulated, so too angry or too frustrated, getting a black stone like jet or black tourmaline or smoky quartz can be really beneficial to meditate with, because they will absorb all of the negative energy and expel it. And also just kind of, ground you and keep you connected to Earth. I will be pulling one Isis Oracle card for this video, and I'm not doing a full tarot reading because I did already do that on Instagram. So if you would like to see my Mars tarot reading for the Mars retrograde, you can go into my Instagram and check that out. Let's pull one Isis card. Thank you, Isis. What messages of healing do you have for the collective through the Mars retrograde? Thank you, Spirit. Whew. I think this is the second time I've seen this card come out today. No, it is not. Just similar artwork. Truth unveiled. There are times when appearances of people, places, and things are deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you. When you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you, you may think there is something wrong with you. But actually, you are intuitively sensing that all is not what it appears to be. Trust what you feel, not what appears to be. This is a really important thing to hear right now, because with this Mars retrograde energy happening in Aries is a fighter. Aries likes to fight for a cause. Aries likes to be a part of an army. Aries is like that, it can go into the anarchist way, or it can go into the totally opposite direction and be like, I want to be a soldier in the army, I'm here for it. So, you know, I can see that Mars energy playing out in both sides of things. So I think it is really important for us to not get caught up right now in a cause that could potentially not align with our beliefs always. Because it's going to be really easy for us to get ramped up and angry and feel really passionate about something. So definitely take that with a grain of salt right now. You know, like if you're like ready to take to the streets with like a burning pitchfork and like a torch and ready to like throw eggs at someone's house, like take a step back and just think about why you're so aggressively pushing this agenda, right? Right now is not the time to be forcing people into anything or attempting to sway people in any kind of way, because it could be really easy for you to get caught up. And then later you look back on it and you're like, dang, I really was a little too aggressive about that. And I probably could have handled that situation a little bit better. So, yeah. You might also find yourself caught up in something that ends up being like really bad later. Like this could be a really, just as like an example, I'm not saying that this is going to happen to anybody, but it's just an example. It could be really easy right now to get caught up in a cult. That cult mentality, right? It could be really easy to get caught up in, yeah, something that seems really great, but it's actually just brainwashing you. So be careful about your choices and, you know, use your intuition, lean on your feminine energy right now. We do have Venus in Libra, so Mars will be opposing Venus. Let me pull that up just so I can triple check. And just so people know, I do use Astro Gold for my chart readings. I really like it because you can pull up the here and now and go through hour by hour, day by day, which is really nice. So Venus doesn't enter Libra. Venus will be moving into Virgo. And then she moves into Libra and starts making those oppositions to Mars in October. So October and then through the last bit of Mars retrograde will be really challenging, and because of that like opposition to Libra, to Venus in Libra, it just really kind of like drowns out our divine feminine. And the divine feminine in Libra, Venus loves being in Libra. She's at home there. She feels really good there. But Mars is just really domineering. It's a really domineering divine masculine energy that can, and when it's opposing Venus, it really is Venus and Mars, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, really going at it and almost at war with each other. So that's something to keep in mind, to keep in touch with your divine feminine. As she moves through Virgo, she will offer us a lot of stability, a lot of support, a lot of, she asks us to become a little bit more routine-oriented in Virgo. She asks us to be a little bit more self-care-oriented in Virgo. And I think the important thing is to just keep leaning on that Virgo-y energy before the Libra hits. Especially with the North Node being in Gemini, and Mars making his trine to the South Node in Sagittarius. It's even more important, like I've been saying in all of my videos, it's even more important to stay local, to think locally. Because when we look at everything on a big scale, it becomes almost impossible to digest right now. It's just too much. It's just far too much for us to take on, and you're only one person. So the best way for you as an individual to help heal the collective is to make sure that you are in your best self at all times. Because when you are in your best self, you will inspire others to be in their best self. So, I mean, that's easier said than done, right? For all of us. So take your time, slow things down, rest if you feel like you need to rest, and just really lean on your feminine energy right now, whether you're male, female, whatever, it does not matter. It's, we all have these divine feminine and masculine energies within us in equal parts. So, now is the time to really lean on that divine feminine energy, to get deep with yourself, to analyze yourself on a much deeper, more emotional level. Yeah. I was feeling really scared for this Mars retrograde, and then I did that tarot reading, and honestly, I feel like we're going to come out of this a lot more aligned and a lot more prepared for the new world, and in a much better situation. So it might look really intense and scary for a minute, because that's what Mars does. It makes things intense and scary, right? But it's not permanent, and it's not forever, and we will come out of this much stronger. I hope you all have a really beautiful night. I love you all so much. Goodbye.